Well, righty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we're on a pretty interesting topic here today. I got linked this video from chat, and my first reaction to looking at the title, "Can you drink Cantarella's milk in Wuthering Waves?" I was like, there's no fucking way I'm watching this video. But then chat was really insisting that I watched it, and so I was like, all right, give me 5 subs and I'll react to it, and we ended up getting 20. So I guess this is a really high priority video for a lot of the community. So why don't we go ahead and share our thoughts on the matter of can you drink Cantarella's milk in Wuthering Waves, and see whether or not we can, because this is definitely a topic that I think a lot of us are really interested in. I think.
Can you drink Cantarella's milk from a calcium cannon which she purposely ingests poison to build up her resistance? First of all, we need to know what type of poison she was consuming.
Okay, so I think the video opens up with, can you ingest the milk that she shoots from her calcium cannons? And is the poison that she ingests, is that strong enough to adjacently poison you after you've consumed it? Well, I guess let's find out.
Name Cantarella can actually give us a clue, because Cantarella is actually a type of poison used during the Renaissance. It was described as a white powder with a pleasant taste and was sprinkled on food or wine.
Was it Cantarella or was it cocaine?
It was the perfect tool for political assassination, swift and deadly with no antidote. This is very similar to the method that Cantarella used in-game. However, the recipe to make this poison was lost over time, but many believe it is a form of arsenic.
You know what? When I first saw this video, I didn't actually think that it was going to have like any sort of like meaningful information in it, but I'm actually learning quite a bit. Yeah, I'm actually learning quite a lot.
Now, whether or not her milk is safe to drink depends on the amount that she has consumed. According to the World Health Organization, any consumption over 100 mg is considered to be lethal.
Okay, but this is under the assumption that Cantarella's actually using arsenic to do all of the crazy things that she's up to in Ragusa City. So, my initial response to this is, proof? Got any proof that it's actually arsenic, buddy boy? Or is this simply based off the fact that Cantarella is her name? Huh? Why don't we look at what a Carlotta is? Let me go do that real fast. What is a Carlotta? So, is Carlotta a brig? Is she a boat? Or is she a unincorporated community in California? Or is she a house in Italy? Carlotta could be a carrot as well? Yeah, I don't really know, man. I don't really know. It's a bit of a stretch to me. I'm going to be entirely honest. Just because her name is Cantarella, that she ingests only the Cantarella poison. But for the sake of this video and for the sake of this analysis, we will go with the claims being presented over here. I'm not going to be that much of a spoil sport.
At that amount, you will have a 50% rate to get reincarnated. So, we're going to assume that she has consumed around 100 mg.
Why is she... Never mind.
Milligrams. With this information, we can estimate the amount of milk an average adult can drink before the effects becomes dangerous. Anything under 100 milliliters, or a third of a can of Coke, is considered relatively safe.
The fact that this chart exists is concerning to me. So, in order for them to have gotten this data, they had a mother ingest arsenic, and then they looked at the concentration of the arsenic within her milk? So, like, how did they get this data? This had to have been done in, like, the fucking, like, during World War II, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You remember, like, hearing about, like, the crazy-ass, like, non-humane, like, fucked-up science experiments that occurred in, like, those secret labs? Yeah, in the I'm pretty sure this is where that's from. I'm 99% sure we're using, like, this got dark real fast. I bet that this was meant to be like a goofy little video, right? Just a goofy old little video talking about mommy's milk and that shit. And now we're getting into like the CIA. We're getting into like fucking Unit 737. That's probably the wrong numbering. And we're getting into like shit like that from like World War II. God damn it, bro. What? This data table shouldn't even exist. We shouldn't know this. I think humanity would actually be better off if we didn't have this information. I think the fact that this information exists is by itself a grave mark on our report card as a race. What the fuck?
At worst, you might get some mild stomach cramps. Anything more than that, and the consequences will get more severe. So, it would be wise to stay under that limit. We also know that arsenic has a half-life of around 10 hours.
2007? Huh? That's a little recent. That's a little modern. Not the same research? Proof?
This means that every 10 hours, the amount in your body is reduced by half. When we do our calculations by applying the half-life formula...
Sorry, let me just show this entire formula for the class. Yeah, how many of you guys know what this means? How many of you guys understand this? I'm just wondering. Everyone taking notes? Yeah, everyone taking notes? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this shit ain't that complicated. You learn this in, like, Algebra 2? This is, like, middle school shit? Yeah, wait. You learned this in middle school if you were smart. You learned this in high school if you were retarded. That's basically the breakdown. You learned this in high school if you were stupid. But you learned this in middle school if you were smart. And no, I'm not talking about the actual formula. I'm talking about understanding what, like, this fucking t and then this t divided by a 1/2. I'm talking about that shit. So yeah, that's just a realization that some of y'all need to have. If you learned how this worked in high school, I've got some bad news to share with you.
By the end of the second day, only around 3.6% of the original amount remains in your body. By the end of the third day, the amount drops to 0.68%, almost negligible.
Explain it? Y'all need me to explain this to you. Okay, so this is essentially the half-life formula for how long a substance is supposed to last in your body. And essentially, you replace the T with however long that shit is supposed to take. And, well, that thing gets divided, and then it's fucking algebra, bro. The fact that none of y'all know this, I know COVID fucked you guys up. COVID made y'all mad retarded. God, oh, we're so cooked. Oh, in 10 years, we're fucked.
Only around 3.6% of the original amount remains in your body. By the end of the third day, the amount drops to 0.68%, almost negligible. So in conclusion, we should limit the initial intake of Cantarella's milk to less than 100 milliliters.
Well, and this is the only thing, though. So this entire study is actually going to get proven wrong by one simple statement revealed during the Cantarella story quest. Cantarella imbibed a cocktail of poisons. Not just one, but multiple. And so, for this kind of video to actually be genuinely accurate, you would have had to, A, look at a majority of poisons and have a cocktail of poisons as opposed to just arsenic. And then second, you would have to look into the fact that Cantarella is actually building up a tolerance to these poisons as she has consumed them since early childhood. And so that means that she naturally has a higher immunity, needs a higher dosage in the first place to even have the effect that you guys are talking about. And so that means that it's likely far less than this 100 ml that we're seeing on the screen. It's probably closer to like 50 or maybe even 20 or 10. Right? It makes a ton of sense, right? Because she's actually taken way more than the normal person's lethal dose. So yeah, I think you're just fucked regardless. Hey, if you end up tasting the holy honey, it's game over. I think you're just dead. What do you think she put in those cupcakes? I think you showed it over here. He eats cake. What do you think she put in those cakes? Bro died immediately. Think about how much milk goes into a cake. It's not really that much. That was enough to kill this dude immediately. So yeah, I think this whole, I think this takeover, this conclusion over here, I think it's a little bit undercooked, brother. I do think it's a little bit undercooked.
Less than 100 milliliters. It is also a good idea to have a 2 to 3 day grace period.
It's longer than that. It's longer than that. You don't know about the half-lives of the other substances that are likely there. Because once again, she took a drug cocktail. Those substances will all have different half-lives.
In between to make sure any lingering amounts are flushed out of the body. So, would you still risk it and drink her milk or turn down the offer and play it safe?
Nah, this person's just trying to... This creator's just trying to get you killed. I hope you guys realize this. He's just trying to get you killed. He's spreading misinformation right now. The actual capabilities, the limits here are far lower than what he's actually saying. So I think bro right now is trying to go into like big assassination. Like, you know how you have like big pharma? He's trying to get into big assassination right here. That's the only thing that I can see going on.
Well, what do you think? Do you agree?
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're entirely incorrect. You have completely... Why do you think that guy who's gotten way too many pain medication prescription, why do you think he's popping like 17 Oxycontins in one day? It's because bro has built up a tolerance. Much like how Cantarella, she probably taken 17 times the recommended dose when it comes to those poisons. Brother, that's like a core part of her lore. I cannot believe he dropped the ball like this. He's gonna get some people killed. Fucking joke. Overall, naturally, you can kind of guess I was kind of playing it up a little bit over here. I think that this is a nice little fun little goofy video, but naturally there's a couple of plot points missing. But overall, I would say the little breakdown, the math, the real world references, all of that, it's good stuff, right? But in reality, we all gotta take a step back sometimes and recognize there's magic in this game. Yeah, this character also summons poison jellyfish. So, it's always good to, you know, take a step back once in a while, not take it too seriously, but I don't think most people are doing that anyways. I was just playing it up a little bit on purpose. But yeah, awesome. I don't really want to say awesome vid. This was probably the most brain-rotted shit I'm going to be seeing for the next year. Yeah, I guess it was an overall... I hope it was an overall positive experience for the channel. So, yeah, let me know what you all thought about this one, ladies and gentlemen, and peace out.